If you've been gardening for any length of time, you've probably heard the same advice repeated over and over. Mulch, 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 mulch to stop weeds, mulch to retain moisture, mulch to protect soil life. And while mulching absolutely works, it also takes time, money, and constant upkeep. Straw rots, wood chips run out, grass clippings dry up, and suddenly you're back at square one. But what if I told you that nature already solved this problem long ago? Here on Soilpower, we're all about working with the soil instead of fighting it. And today, I want to show you how 2 humble seeds can replace mulching almost entirely while improving your soil year after year. No hauling, no spreading, no constant replenishing, just living plants doing the job for you. Let's dig in. Mulch is effective, but it's also passive. Once it's laid down, it slowly breaks apart, blows away, or decomposes into nothing. It doesn't adapt, it doesn't respond to weather, and it doesn't actively improve soil structure beyond adding some organic matter. Living ground covers, on the other hand, are dynamic. They grow thicker when conditions are right, thin out when needed, and continuously interact with soil microbes. Their roots feed beneficial fungi, open compacted ground, and cycle nutrients in real time. When you replace dead mulch with living plants, your garden becomes self-regulating. Weeds struggle to germinate, moisture stays locked in, soil stays cool, and your beds begin to behave more like a natural ecosystem than a managed construction site. This is where the 2 seeds come in. White clover is one of the most underestimated plants in gardening, and once you understand how it works, it's hard to unsee its value. Clover forms a low, dense carpet that hugs the soil surface. This alone shades out weed seedlings and protects the soil from sun and wind. But the real magic happens underground. Clover is a nitrogen fixer. Through a partnership with soil bacteria, it pulls nitrogen out of the air and stores it in the soil where nearby plants can use it. Instead of adding fertilizer, you're growing it. Clover roots also improve soil structure by gently loosening compacted ground. When clover is cut back or naturally dies off, its roots decompose in place, leaving behind organic matter in air channels. Over time, soil becomes softer, darker, and more alive. In vegetable beds, clover acts as a polite companion. It doesn't compete aggressively for nutrients, and when kept trimmed, it actually boosts crop growth. Tomatoes, peppers, brassicas, and fruit trees all benefit from clover's presence. If clover is the long-term worker, buckwheat is the rapid response specialist. Buckwheat germinates incredibly fast, often within 3 to 5 days. In bare soil situations where weeds would normally explode, buckwheat gets there first. Its broad leaves spread quickly, shading the soil and stopping weeds before they even start. Buckwheat is also a master at unlocking nutrients. It excels at pulling phosphorus and micronutrients from the soil and making them available to other plants. This is especially powerful in poor or tired soils where nutrients exist but aren't accessible. Another overlooked benefit is buckwheat's ability to attract beneficial insects. When it flowers, it becomes a magnet for pollinators and predatory insects that keep pests in check. Even before flowering, its dense canopy creates a cooler, moister microclimate at the soil surface. Buckwheat isn't permanent, and that's a good thing. It naturally dies back, leaving behind soft plant material that feeds soil organisms. Think of it as a self-growing mulch that plants itself. Here's where the transformation happens. Clover provides year-round soil coverage, nitrogen fixation, and long-term soil improvement. Buckwheat steps in when soil is bare, disturbed, or newly planted. Together, they ensure your soil is almost never exposed. Instead of spreading mulch every season, you simply scatter seeds. The plants grow, protect the soil, and then either persist or return nutrients back into the ground. The soil surface stays covered, living roots stay active, and weeds lose their biggest advantage. Open space. Over time, gardeners notice something remarkable. Soil stops crusting, water infiltrates faster, beds stay moist longer between watering, and weeds become easier to manage because the soil is no longer inviting them in. The beauty of this approach is its flexibility. In vegetable beds, clover can be sown between rows or around established plants. Keep it trimmed low, and it behaves like a green carpet. Buckwheat works best in empty beds, new garden areas, or between planting cycles. In orchards and food forests, clover thrives under trees, feeding the soil without competing for deep nutrients. Buckwheat fills gaps quickly and improves soil health in young systems. Even raised beds benefit. Instead of leaving soil bare between plantings, scatter buckwheat. Instead of mulching pathways, let clover take over. The key is observation. Watch how your soil responds. Watch where plants thrive. Adjust density and timing as needed. Living mulch is interactive, not rigid. The first season is where most gardeners become believers. You'll notice fewer weeds almost immediately. Soil stays cooler during hot days and holds moisture longer. Plants look less stressed, even during dry spells. Over time, earthworms and soil life increase dramatically, drawn in by constant root activity and organic inputs. By the second or third season, the soil itself changes. It becomes darker, looser, and easier to work. At that point, mulching starts to feel unnecessary, even backwards. This is not about abandoning all mulch forever in every situation. It's about upgrading from a static solution to a living one. At Soilpower, we believe the best gardens aren't built with more inputs, but with better systems. When you let plants do the work, gardening becomes simpler, cheaper, and far more resilient. Scattering 2 seeds may seem too easy to be true, but that's often how nature works. The simplest solutions are the ones we forgot to use. If this approach resonated with you, imagine what else is possible when you stop fighting your soil and start partnering with it. If you enjoyed this article, make sure to subscribe to the Soilpower channel for more deep, practical gardening wisdom. Share this with a fellow gardener who's tired of hauling mulch, and let's grow smarter, healthier soil together.